This is for year 11 methods. We're going to look at question 8 from exercise 8e from exercise 2f. So let O denote the origin and let AB be the x and y intercepts of y equals 2x, negative 2x plus c. You notice how we've got a parameter in this question, which means this is like a question where, we're trying to solve for different values of c, okay, depending on what information is given. So this is a CAS allowed question, and you're expected to be comfortable using your CAS calculator. So for part 1, we've got a line that slopes this way because I know the gradient is negative. We've got our A value here and our B value there because they're the axis intercepts, and you've got origin there. I know that the midpoint lies on the point 3, 6. The reason why I know it's on the line is because it happens to be the midpoint of 2 points on the line. So the midpoint must be a point on the line itself. So given we know that information, I can literally sub this 3, 6 into our equation. So we know y equals negative 2x plus c. I can sub in 3, 6 into equation and solve for my c value. So because this is a calculator allowed question, I'm just going to set equation up and I'm going to get the calculator solve for me. Okay, so when y is 6, x equals 3 plus c. So I know you can do that easily by hand, but I want everyone to practice using the CAS calculator. So let's do this on the CAS. 6 equals negative 2 times 3 plus c. Now, for convenience, because c is not available directly on our buttons, I'll just use z. Okay, so it's a little trick you can use. Interactive and solve, and I want to solve for z. So c equals to 12. Okay, so that part's done. For part 2, if the triangle AOB has an area of 4, find the value of c. So again, we have a line A, B, 0, and we know the area here is 4. Okay, we know the area of a triangle is given by half times base times height. Okay, now I know the area of the triangle is given by 4, but I don't know what my base and height are. Okay, so I don't know what my base and height are. I can write them in terms of c. Okay, how can I do that? Because we have an equation of y equals negative 2x plus c, right? So to get my value of a, all I need to do is find the x-intercept. So we know x-intercept y0. So I want to solve for c. Okay, so x-intercept y equals 0. I want to solve for c. Not c, x. I want to solve for x. So let's go to the CAS calculator. I'm going to do this using the CAS. Let's go back. I'm going to do this using the CAS. So we've got y equals negative 2x plus z. Now, how do I find the x-intercept? We know when the x-intercept, whenever we have x-intercept, y equals 0. Y equals 0, and I'm going to go interactive and solve for x. Interactive and solve for x. Okay, perfect. So I want it in standard form. So z over 2, which is c over 2. So x equals c over 2. So y-intercept. Now I don't even need to calculate for this because I know the y-intercept happens to be y equals c. Okay. So if I redraw the triangle, this will be c over 2, this will be my c, this will be my 0. So the area is 4, which equals half times base, which is c over 2, times height, which is c. So all I'm going to do is enter this on my CAS calculator and solve for c. So I'm going to go 4 equals C over 2, so I'm just going to use X for convenience. So half times C over 2 times C. I'm going to go interactive and solve. And we get C equals plus or minus 4. Okay, so C equals plus or minus 4. Now, since C can't be negative, we're saying, so since C is greater than 0, C must equal to positive 4. So that's our answer. Okay. Now, for the last part, if the midpoint AB such that, so this is seems like a really complicated question, but it's not that bad. If we have AB and a midpoint, the distance from O to M would be 2 root 5. Okay, so the distance between O to M would be 2 root 5. So this is how I'd approach the problem. Now we know the point A in terms of C would be C over 2, 0. And we know the point B would be 0, C. Okay, so they're my X and Y intercepts in terms of C. Now, I know that we need to find coordinates of the midpoint. Okay, the reason is once I get the coordinates of midpoints, and I know the coordinates here is 0, 0, I can find the distance between 2 points and let it equal 2 root 5 because I know that's the distance. So let's find what the midpoint is. The midpoint is the average of the x coordinates. So 0 plus c on 2 divided by 2 would be c over 4. The average of 0 plus c would just be c over 2. Okay, so that's a midpoint. Now, all I know now is that the distance from 0 to m, 0, 0 to m, which is c over 4, c over 2, is 2 root 5. So the distance is given by, so it will be y x2 minus x1, so c on 4 minus 0 squared, so it'll just be c over 4 squared, and we've got c over 2 minus 0 squared, which is just c over 2 squared, and I know that equals 2 root 5, okay? All I need to do is solve that on the CAS calculator. So we've got the square root, of, I'm just going to use x convenience, squared plus c over 2 squared, and then we're going to let that equal 2 root 5, 2 root 5, and I'm going to solve for c, basically. Now, on your working out, if you write that, that's fine. I know what you've done. Okay, so interactive and solve for x. Okay, I've put a c here. That should be an x. So we get x equals negative 8 or positive 8. So x equals plus or minus 8, and that should be c because we changed the x for c. So since we know c is positive, c is greater than 0, c must equal positive 8, and that's the end of the question. So as you can see, all three parts of the question can be done by CAS, but obviously the thinking the CAS cannot do for you. You've got to set up the right equation so you can solve what you need to solve. So hopefully that helps.